Hi, Ms. Rodriguez. Nice to meet you. I'm Adriana Fernandez, a registered nurse. I understand that you're here today because your baby had a newborn screening with a positive PKU test result, and now has just gotten confirmed a diagnosis of PKU, and you would like some more information on that.
Yes, please.
I'd like to start off first by telling you that you're not alone in this, and the good news is that recognizing PKU right away, as in your case, can help prevent health problems that can be caused by this condition. I want to give you some insight into this condition and teach you ways to manage it so that your baby can grow up and live a normal life. So please stop me at any time if you have any questions or for further clarification, or even to stop, repeat something, or slow down, okay?
Okay.
Because it might get a little bit overwhelming. I'm going to try to give you as much information as I could, since you did take the time to come over here, okay? So let's start first of all with PKU. The letters stand for a condition called phenylketonuria. Actually, all the 50 states in the U.S. Screen their newborns for PKU. It's a requirement because of the importance of starting treatment right away. First, I want to give you a very basic breakdown of some of the terms we're going to be talking about, so you can understand more of how this condition works. Our body is made up of cells, and proteins are essential to all cells, and they take part in virtually every process that cells go through. For example, they're used for growth, repair, strengthening bones, etc. And then we have amino acids that are the building blocks of protein. And also enzymes are basically proteins that accelerate chemical reactions, such as in this case, the breakdown of the amino acid phenylalanine. And this is our culprit in this condition. So PKU is a rare condition in which a baby is born without an enzyme called phenylalanine hydroxylase. This is the enzyme that is used and needed to break down phenylalanine. So, and phenylalanine is found in foods that contain protein. So, in other words, a baby is born without the ability to properly break down phenylalanine, and that's why it's important to control the intake of this amino acid. Without the enzyme that the baby doesn't have, the levels of phenylalanine build up in the body. And this buildup is harmful to the central nervous system and can cause brain damage. I know that's a lot to understand, but let's talk a little bit more about the treatment. So the good news, like I said, is that PKU is a treatable disease. Treatment is a diet that is extremely low in phenylalanine, and this is especially crucial when the child is growing up. That's why we bring you in, get you all the information you need as early as possible to start the treatment, and so you can understand and be informed. The diet must be strictly followed. This will require close supervision, and a lot of people are involved. We have a registered dietitian, a doctor, and the cooperation of you as a parent and your child is going to be very important. The recommendations by experts is to continue the diet into adulthood to have a better physical and mental health.
How can I do this for my baby?
Okay, good question. I'm glad you asked. Because regular infant formula and breast milk contain phenylalanine, babies with PKU instead need to consume a phenylalanine-free infant formula. Okay?
How about if I want to breastfeed? Is this out of the question?
No, this is not out of the question. A registered dietitian can carefully calculate a small amount of breast milk or regular formula to be mixed in with the phenylalanine-free formula. There's a special infant formula called Lofenalac, and it's made for infants with PKU, which is probably the one your baby has started on.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So usually, as far as solid foods, when you begin to introduce them, parents introduce the solid foods with low levels of phenylalanine on the same schedule used for other infants. The foods will actually replace the phenylalanine a baby has been receiving from the breast milk or formula, and they will also need to be precisely figured into the daily phenylalanine intake. Again, the registered dietitian becomes a very big part of all of this. The special phenylalanine formula can be used throughout life as a protein source that is extremely low in phenylalanine and balanced for the remaining essential amino acids. Remember, we're going to restrict the diet in a very very big way. So we need to replenish all the other stuff that we're restricting at the same time. So an essential nutritional substitute or formula must be continued for life. Okay, so foods that need to be avoided, and this becomes, more important as time progresses, but it's good to know, are all high protein foods, including milk, eggs, cheese, nuts, soybeans, beans, chicken, steak and other beef products, pork, fish, chocolate candy, peas, beer. The artificial sweetener NutraSweet or aspartame also needs to be avoided because it contains phenylalanine. And you also need to limit fruit, vegetables, and desserts. It's a lot of limitations, but there are also low protein rice, pasta noodles, and crackers, and those are often fine to eat. Also, taking supplements such as fish oil or iron may be needed. Okay. The need for a nutritional supplement, especially if your child doesn't like it, and the limited choices can make PKU the PKU diet very challenging. But it's really the only way to prevent serious health problems from developing. Families need to really commit to this lifestyle change wholeheartedly, realizing that it may be difficult but not impossible. It's important to see your doctor regularly. Safe amounts of the phenylalanine differ from person to person, so your doctor has to determine a safe amount for your baby through regular reviews of diet records, growth charts, and blood levels of phenylalanine. Frequent blood tests will monitor PKU to track the amount of phenylalanine eaten every day. You can use a food diary, there are computer programs, there are even apps that help with this process. They'll help you document your food diary, and some of them actually list amounts of phenylalanine that are in baby foods, solid foods, formulas, ingredients. There are also cookbooks out there that can help you with recipes, and your dietitian will play a big role in this as well.
Okay, and what is the prognosis?
Okay, the prognosis is that the outcome is expected to be very good as long as the diet is closely followed. Starting shortly after the child's birth is crucial to start doing the diet, so that's why we talked about the formula. If treatment is delayed or the condition remains untreated, unfortunately, brain damage can occur. School functioning can be mildly impaired, and also intellectual disabilities are also an issue, and all of this can be seen actually by the end of the first year of life. So the most severe form of the disorder is known as classic PKU, and children that are left untreated can develop obvious permanent mental retardation, or ADHD is also a common problem seen in those who do not stick to the strict diet.
And what are the symptoms that I should look out for?
Newborns with PKU initially don't have any symptoms, but without treatment though, they'll usually develop signs of PKU within a few months. Symptoms can be mild or severe and may include mental retardation, behavioral or social problems, small head size, hyperactivity, jerky movements of the arms or legs, tremors, seizures, stunted growth, skin rashes, unusual positioning of the hands, a musty odor on the breath, skin, and urine, and that's due to a buildup of the phenylalanine in the body. And also we see light skin, hair, and eyes because phenylalanine it usually transforms into melanin, and in this case it can. And melanin is the pigment responsible for skin color and hair color.
What caused this?
PKU is actually inherited, which means that it's passed down through families. It is caused by mutation in a gene that helps create the enzyme needed to break down phenylalanine. So both parents must pass on this defective gene in order for a baby to have the condition. This makes it an autosomal recessive trait. That's what it's called. It's possible for a parent to have the defective gene but not have the disease. This is called being a carrier. So most often we see that PKU is passed to children by parents who are carriers of the disorder but don't even know they are. And an autosomal recessive gene may be present in a family for many generations without ever being expressed as the condition.
Could I have known earlier about the condition?
Well, there are genetic tests specifically for PKU, but they're not usually done unless there's a family history, a known family history. In your case, now that there is, perhaps for future pregnancies, more tests can be done. There's there's a blood test that looks at enzymes and it can determine if parents carry the gene for PKU. There's also the chorionic villus sampling that can be done during pregnancy. It's to screen the unborn baby for PKU. I know that living with PKU can be difficult. The combination of a limited diet, expensive groceries, regular blood tests, detailed food records, frequent visits to the doctors, it can really cause frustration. If you have a child with PKU, it might be difficult to explain to them later why they can't have certain foods. Meal times can become a battle. You know, there's some strategies that might help you with these situations. It's always important to be informed. That's why you're here. You can always come back. You can always call. We're going to give you some extra information. I know it's very overwhelming right now. There are also support groups. It's very, very important and helpful to learn from other families who are going and have gone through the same situations. Your dietitian, like I said, can help with menu planning. The ones that are experienced with PKU can actually give you recipes that are just as delicious as regular food. You always have to be prepared in situations so it doesn't become a challenge when you go out to eat or you go to different functions to have something for your child. And always try not to keep the focus off the food. Try to make focus on other things. Even on holidays, you can focus on other traditions that don't surround just the food. So, just like I said, we're always here for you. I'm glad you came for this appointment. I hope this information was helpful. I know it's overwhelming, but we're here for support. And I also prepared a packet for you with some pamphlets, some list of local support groups, local specialists that you can come see. Even here at the university, we have some specialists. So feel free to call us. My personal number is on the phone. And thank you so much for coming. Are you feeling a little bit more informed today?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.